yeah, 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 hey, hey, yeah, hey, hey.
Welcome to the Natty Daddy Experience. You rocking with your boy Natty Rob on this job. And today we have an activist, a preacher, a leader, the one and only West Side Mayor, Jamel Brown. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm honored to be on your platform tonight.
No, I appreciate you tapping in, man, for sure. I appreciate it. So I want to just go and jump to you had a press conference March 2nd. And I was supposed to be down there and filming. I actually came down there, got out the car, looking for my camera. I'm like, dang, I left my camera. So I went back to get my camera. By the time I got back down there, it was a whole new crowd down there. And I get on Facebook, I see you going off, man. What happened?
What happened was that I was very disappointed of the people that was all talking about we need justice for Mr. Greg Gunn. But you seen folks from out of town that was more supportive of that than the people that actually live in Montgomery, Alabama. And that disheartened me because this is a man that born and raised in the city, loved this city. And just like what happened to him, it can happen to anybody else in this city. And that really upsetted me. And I had postponed the press conference. Matter of fact, in sometime April or May, we're gonna do it. But we gotta continue to shed light on the injustice system in the state of Alabama.
Okay. So can you just tell people who Greg Gunn was and what happened?
Greg Gunn, just a regular individual, just like anybody else. He was known for his kindness, his love for his family, his church, and he was just an everyday type of person. And on one night in February, 8 years ago to be exact, he was headed home, and this police officer, Aaron Cody Smith, profiled him at night walking in his own neighborhood. Greg was unarmed. Greg was not a threat to the public safety. There was nobody called in the neighborhood. It was all black neighborhood, guy just walking home, going home. And the officer approached him and confronted him and shot him in the back. And that's what had happened. That was a very sad situation that boiled me over because Greg is kin to my family. My first cousin, that's his mom's brother. So it was hit home for me. And like I said, this was a situation that happened that going on many times across America. Walking While Black. WWB, Walking While Black.
For sure, man. I'm sorry for your loss, man. I want to take it from the beginning because I feel like people, especially in the city of Montgomery, they probably misunderstand you. Would that be, you think that's accurate? People misunderstand you?
I believe that's 100% accurate.
Okay, so I want to take it from the beginning. So people need to hear your story and how you got to where you was at today and the things you had to go through. So you was born and raised in Montgomery, Alabama?
Yes.
Okay, so how was it growing up in Montgomery, I'm going to say in the early, mid-2000s?
Growing up in the early, mid-2000s, the one moment that changed my life as a child was on April the 11th, 2001. I was 10 years old. And the woman that raised me since I was a baby, Miss Mary Brown, for the first 10 years of my life, that's who I known as my mom. This woman was a dynamic woman from what I've known of her from those 10 years and from what her children told me growing up. That's when I first real experienced a loss in my life. I was 10 years old. I was in elementary school, and I was just like, hey, the woman that was protecting me, having my back, just died from breast cancer. So that took a dramatic turn in my life. But growing up as a kid in the 2000s, a lot of people say I was a class clown. I was a preacher boy. Started preaching at the age of 7 years old. This week make 20 years I've been in the ministry. Um, I started preaching at 7, got licensed at age 14. And during those early 2000s that you're talking about, all I did was in my teens, I was traveling church to church all over Alabama. Was the guest speaker, Jamel Brown from Montgomery, Alabama, 14-year-old preacher, 13-year-old preacher, 12-year-old preacher, been to Troy, all in Grady, Alabama, Mosses, Alabama, Midway, Alabama, Union Springs, Alabama. I can tell y'all some places I've been as a child catching these rides with other pastors and their family to get to where I need to go, because at the time, my dad, the one that raised me, did not have an automobile. He was old at the time, still, in age. And so growing up, I was not like my homeboys or my cousins, and not saying that in a bad way. I was just in church, from the west side, from Washington Park, Western Hills, went to I think one of the greatest schools in the city, Lovelace, McIntyre, T.S. Mars, and Carver. And, it was peer pressure at those times. It was all type of stuff going on. But did I have a happy childhood? Yes. Did I have some challenges? Yes. Do I think I would wish that my childhood would be way better than what I would want it to? Yeah, I wish it was way better. Had family problems, all that stuff like everybody else. But I was a leader too young, because ministry took my childhood away from me. Would I do it all over again? Yes. But that's how my mid-20s was. Church revival, youth day, vacation Bible school, Sunday school. I was just in church. And I thank God for that, because I could have been anywhere else. But like I said, not throwing shade at some of my homeboys and cousins that took another route in life. A lot of them still respected me, and some folks just didn't respect me. Even as a child, I had folks hating on me because my influence with teachers, principals, and kids.
Right. Hey, is it true that you skipped grades when you was in elementary, I think?
Yes. When you say skip, what you mean?
Well, like you went from, I don't know the exact grade, but maybe you went from the 2nd grade to the 4th grade.
Like they skipped me, or
Like you
did
was
I?
like excelling, so
No. I skipped school, but because of when I thought you mean like skip school, I skipped school like you go to school and don't want to go to school. We call it skipping school back days. I don't know if they still call
no. No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about like you skipped like a grade,
No,
like you was
never did.
Okay. So that's all right. So that's false. Whoever
Yeah,
picked that out there, that's false.
False.
All right.
Today that skipped school and should have stayed in those grades because it reflects of who they are today. But no, I went to school, like I said, being a class clown. I flunked a couple times because hell, I wasn't doing no work in school. I'm just being honest. In some of those early years. But after dad whooped me and applied pressure, I started, doing what I was supposed to. I had more bad conduct. Flunked like twice. But that was early grades. Early grades.
Okay, so I heard you mention you said your dad that raised you. So what was your biological dad?
My biological dad was not in my life, period. He was just not there. Um, my biological mother, we had a strange relationship, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. They was young, you know. I was born 91. They was 14, 16, and I just had two old people just to take me and raise me like I was their child. So he was out there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? If I was a father today at 33, would I do that to my child? No. Would I do that to any of my children? No. But to each his own. You know, I can't be mad. Is that hurt, pain, wishing that my parents was there, my real parents was actually there and was doing what they supposed to do? Of course. But we grow, we live on, we move on.
Okay. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not. So I ain't gonna get too far into it. But when you was a kid, you was abused by pastors and family members.
Yes, and that type of hurt, you know, like I said, um, is some deep hurt. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of kids went through a lot of physical abuse coming up during our era, and a lot of them coming out and talking. And I really believe if you were born in the 90s and the 80s, you had went through some stuff because they it was always said what happens in this house stays in the house, and I think that was the most destructive, ignorant black rule that black families have took up for those many years, because we have aunts and uncles that was sexual abused, sexual assaulted by granddaddies, great great granddaddies, you know what I'm saying, big daddies, and nobody could say now. Everybody had to be quiet. Um, but some pain I don't want to never revisit it. That's a part of my growth now, and I just say, hey, you know, if I can help some of these little boys and little girls coming up by a word of encouragement or something, or direct them to resources that help them, they're going through that type of drama, I'll do that. But that's that on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I did want to kind of touch on. Well, I wanted to ask you, like, with stuff like that, did that make you hate like the church and God? Like, what made you take the path of preaching?
Yeah, I kid you not, Rob, that it did something to me that made me at one point not want to go to church no more. Because I was seeing people in church doing the same thing that folks in the streets and my family and them was doing. And I was like, this can't be right. You know what I'm saying? They'll get on the pulpit or Sunday school, or, you know, the church ladies or men, they'll say one thing on Sunday, but Monday through Saturday, they live in a whole different other lifestyle. I did not agree with that. And I'm one of the ones that actually been through church hurt. I know how I feel to get hurt, get your feelings hurt, get your dreams crushed in church. I totally understand. But what made me, to answer your question, what made me take the path still is that I realized that the church is not a physical, tangible thing. It is a spiritual thing. It's something that is in us. Because when Jesus said, "Upon this rock I build my church," he was talking to his disciple. So as I learned, grew, and stayed in my word and studied and talked to God more and more, what I started to do is disconnecting myself from that building, that organization. You get what I'm saying? That's called
Right.
Baptist, Pentecostal holiness, Muslim, Islam, Jewish, or whatever. I separate myself from those words, and I strictly count on God to lead and guide me. And that's just been my aim, my path for my whole life, is just trust my spirit, trust God's spirit. But Um, it's a lot of church hurt, and I think that's for everybody, not just in Montgomery, but around America. It's a lot of black church hurt going on because back then you had families that ran the church. Rob, you had if the Browns family was paying all the tithes and they the family founding members, guess what? What happens at this church? That's what goes on. But now you see a breaking down of that from all type of pastors like Pastor Mike um, up there in Birmingham. Pastors like him is breaking those barriers and reintroducing church to people, reintroducing God to people. I feel like church should be a house builder. Like people go there to seek, help, not go there to be criticized, abused, judged, and talked about. Like that ain't God what God intended it for.
Right. So, you growing up, you go through school. What you actually drop out at one point, right?
Yes. I was asked at the time by one of my biological parents. It was best for me to drop out of school and just go to work because that was the norm. A lot of parents back then was telling us it was okay to drop out. I dropped out of school. I went and got my high school diploma, and ran for mayor at the age of 18. I wish I would have never dropped out. I loved Carver High School at that time and wish that I was able to graduate with my classmates. But hey, sometimes it take you to go through stuff to get to where you need to be. So it was a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah. You mentioned running for mayor at 18. I think I seen you back in the day, and correct me if I'm wrong. You used to wear suits.
Yeah, all day, every
You
day.
was always in the
I
suit.
boy.
I probably seen you on the match bus. I
Yes,
probably seen you getting on the match bus.
yeah.
And I'm like, this dude is young and he running for mayor. I didn't take it serious back then, but I seen you throughout the years. I'm like, no, he really trying to do this for real.
Right.
Because I seen you been doing this since a teenager.
Yes. A well-known black political figure in the state of Alabama who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was um, a student under Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His name is Alvin Holmes. He's was the state representative for the state of Alabama, representing Montgomery for I think near 50, probably 45 years before he died. He introduced me to activism and politics. Remember, Rob, I grew up church. You know what I'm saying? I was involved in everything that dealing with church. I did not know anything about politics until he introduced it to me. He took me up under his wing, and I found I won't say activism and politics is my calling. I'll say it's more like it's my passion. I like to fight for what's right. And if you remember me back then, because I wore those suits, I got on those buses, it's because I was going to city council meetings. I was going to county commissioner meetings. I was going to mass meetings. If I couldn't catch a ride, I'd get on the mass bus at those ages, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, before I got my first car. I was going to these places fighting for the west side of Montgomery, Alabama. That's when my activism career started. From the age of 18 to now, I have organized so many black on black crime initiatives, black on black crime rallies. Uh, I've organized peaceful protesters, Black Lives Matter protesters, No Justice, No Peace protesters. I've organized so many stuff in that period right there, which I call my activism period, because that was my passion. I was mad when Trayvon Martin was killed. I was mad when Michael Brown got killed. I was mad during those times in those mid 2000s that you referring to. So you'll catch me with a suit on. I was suited up every day because I was standing on business back then before they started
Man,
bringing
for
dancing
sure.
on. So, like you said, and many people didn't take me serious, like you said, because I was a character, man. You know, I would, be serious one moment and make you laugh the next moment. That's just my character. And that's why I feel like a lot of people misunderstood me, because I didn't have a childhood of uh, laughter and fun. And I just grew up being serious all the time. So when I got to school, I was serious at school most of the time. So I had to be a class clown to fit in and stuff, because folks just were like, man, Jamel always preaching. He always got the Bible with him. He want to preach something. So I had to be a class clown at times. So that when my activism career jumped off, and it was because of Albert Holmes. That man was a phenomenal black leader that challenged the system, spoke his mind, and he don't care if he was the only person out there fighting. He fight for what's right. And Rob, I've been in those situations many times where if the whole world thought I was wrong, if I believe I was right about something, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on it.
No, you do stand on business. That's one thing about you. You gonna stand on that business for real. But how did you get the title West Side Mayor?
Oh, you're gonna take me back all the way to 18. My cousin, rest in power, Sylvester Morris, aka Fathead, the West Side King. He had this event, him and our folks in Washington Park, called the Easter Bash, Washington Park Easter Bash. And when I ran for mayor, at that moment, it was historical. I was the first youngest black man to run for mayor of a capital city in the United States of America. And nobody ever ran for mayor at 18. Dropped out of high school at 17. And then the seat for mayor opened up, and I say, hey, I'm going to run for mayor. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of them interviewed me, want to know why I want to run for mayor. You know, I was slim dude, a lot of hair on my head. I had a lot of fire in me and passion. And at the time, I was fighting about the West Side, because the West Side was so neglect, and still neglect to this day. After all the years, the West Side of Montgomery is still not getting a piece of the pie that it's supposed to get. Everything you see that's going on now is contribute to people like myself, contribute to people like Albert Holmes. And I know I went off a little record, off the record when I said it, but what led to that title was Fathead said at the Easter Bash one day, my cousin, Jamel, doing a lot for the West Side. And I'm the West Side King of the West. So I'm going to give him the title of the West Side Mayor. And ever since then, people have been calling me the West Side Mayor. You get pulled over by the police, call the West Side Mayor. Somebody gets shot, call the West Side Mayor. Pot in the hole, call the West Side Mayor. Something happened in Gillville, call the West Side Mayor. And I'm like, wow, man, like I ain't had this much attention and famous since Carvin McIntyre days. So that was good at the Easter Band. And that's how I got the title. I love Fathead. I miss Fathead. That was a true friend, a true cousin, a true brother. And if he was here today, I know he'll go as hard as me when I ran for city council last year, because he did back then when I first ran for city council after running for mayor. But I miss that dude, man. That was my cousin.
Okay. Shouts out to Fathead, man. R.I.P., man. So what's your relationship with the city of Montgomery, like the mayor, the commissioner, and the other political people?
To be honest with you, I don't know none of their hearts. I don't know none of their intents. I go off of what they say. If I would score Mayor Stephen Reed right now, I would give Mayor Reed an A. And I give him an A minus. I won't give him an A plus, and this is why I say because it's room to work on. I feel like ever since his leadership, since 2019, we haven't had no serious racism going on with Montgomery Police Department. I give him kudos for that. Because before he became mayor, during former Mayor Todd Strange era and Bobby Bright era, we fought tooth and nail when it came to police harassment on black people in the city of Montgomery. Under Mayor Reed administration, that has drastically decreased. That's why you don't see me, saying too much about it. There's still some stuff going on, but it's a lot of correcting and teaching and learning. Growth can go on. But I want to assure people it's not like it used to be. The city council is made up of 4 blacks and 5 whites, 9 individuals. Rob, you would suggest and wonder why Montgomery is a majority black city, but we got 5 white city council members, 4 black city council members. The whites are still the majority when it comes to government, like making laws. The city council job to make laws. The mayor job is to execute the laws. That's how it goes. The city council is the legislative branch of the city of Montgomery that holds the purse of Montgomery, the pocketbook. We had an opportunity of getting 5 black city council members last year in 2023 when I ran for District 7. This was my first time running for District 7. In the past, I ran for District 4, which covers all of West Montgomery. The closest I ever got to winning is, I think, in 2015. But this race, I almost could have won if I at least got another 2,500 people out to come out and vote. The reason why District 7 is important is because it's a majority black district, Rob. So you ask, well, Jamel, why did you still lose to a white man? Because black folks did not come out and vote. That's right. I still was close to winning. If people in Cleveland Court, if people in Rosa Parks area, if people in Normandale, if more black people just came out, South Court Street area, Fairview area, all those areas, McGee Road area, so many other areas over there off of Perry Hill Road, they just came out and voted. And voted for me, we would have had the majority. But I think the next 4 years, it'll change again and give us more blacks in District 7. That we can get a black city council member. It may not be me. I'm not planning on running for city council in 4 years. But the answer, I don't have a relationship with none of them. A few I can say doing a good job. I can say the only one that really has some backbone for real is a Rondé Mitchell. That's it. I know he's gonna watch this and will say thanks, Pastor. But Rondé Mitchell was my teacher at elementary school. He's a cool guy. He supported me many times. And it's not just about supporting me, it's about what you can do for the people. It ain't about Jamel, it's what you can do for the people. Do I think the rest is going to make a stand and speak truth to power? I don't think so. That's why I ran. My current city council member that beated me, you know what I'm saying? I don't know him, but so far so Andrew is doing good. His name Andrew Semasic. He doing good. But even with the county commission, the same thing. It's no strong leadership. The blacks on the county commission is 3. All 3 of them ain't got no backbone at all. And that's why Montgomery's still in the situation it is economically.
So do you still have that passion to go out and run, or is that ran its course with you?
It ran its course for me. And it ran its course for me because I feel that until many of them die out or just move, I think we can get strong leaders like myself, Eric Wright, Cedric Coley, Greg Griffin, Jr. You get some strong leaders like that into office, they're gonna make a stand. William Boyd, another one of guys. I don't agree with everything that he say, but when we do have issues we can agree on, we come together and we fight it. But my passion to run for local office in Montgomery, I think, is now dead because folks just don't get out and vote. Would I like to run for something again in the future? Of course. Maybe Congress, you know, maybe Congress or maybe mayor. I'm 33. I ain't ran for mayor since 18. But running for city council is ran its course. This is my 5 times I ran for city council. That ran my course. Maybe I would like to run for state legislator one day, state representative, or like I said, mayor or state senate or United States Congress. Right. I'd rather run for something more higher than local. That's my take.
Yeah, man. Keep pushing though, because you probably one of the only people in the city that do try to put together these gatherings
Yeah.
to, to help the city out. So you
Yeah.
can't really stop, because if you
Right.
stop, then who else gonna do it?
Right. And I appreciate that, Rob. That's what a cousin of mine was telling me. It said, Jamel, if you didn't bring certain stuff to light through the way of your platform, your posts, a lot of people wouldn't know stuff. A lot of people wouldn't be passionate about it if nobody. And I'm just gonna be honest, Rob, and I don't mean to push myself, but shoot, I think I'm one of the last few voices in Montgomery that really going to speak truth to power, to darkness, and make a stand in Montgomery. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see too many other people that will do it. Like I said, people like Ed Wright, I have to give him props. But other than that, I don't see too many other strong black men that gonna make a stand. I just don't see it. Like you know, we may touch on that subject a little bit more about, what's going on in Montgomery when it comes to black men standing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel. But am I giving up? No. Am I giving in? No. But am I reevaluating and trying to see where God want to take me? Yes. So I leave it at that.
Okay. So you mentioned your cousin Fathead used to throw the Easter bash. You yourself have an Easter bash coming up, right?
Yes, we have one coming up on Easter where we're gonna be helping the kids get some buckets and stuff like that. Shout out to Montgomery County probate judge JC Love, but I forgot he one of the other voices we got that passionate about this city. But shout out to him being my only sponsor. But in the past, those that cash out dollars and development growth, my cousin them, shout out to them. Growth and development. I mean, forgive me, y'all. GDs, they helped out with the Halloween event last year, which was a success. We had over 500 some kids to show up on Halloween. That was a success. So next year, hopefully, we will bring the Washington Park Easter Bash back to its full capacity and potential. And that's what I'm going to be talking to the fellas about in Washington Park and trying to do that. If not, we don't change the venue this year. But for now, that's what we got going on. But I have helped co-host past Easter Bashes after Fathead was gone because I wanted that to continue because, that's what we did in Washington Park.
Yeah, no, keep that alive. Got to keep that alive. You got your own headquarters you opened up in 2021?
Yeah, 2021.
Okay. What made you get your own headquarters?
In school, I had different names. I always want to start my own nonprofit organization. And in 2020, during the pandemic, I decided to start it on one named after me, the Jamel J. Brown Foundation, which is just a civil rights organization where I actually can receive money legally, do legal stuff, tax stuff, you know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff to get grant money and stuff to fight the causes that are dear to me. And that's the reason why we open up on the west side, because that's why I started it. The west side is a side of the city that can have a lot of potential. People just gotta stop tearing up our own stuff over here. Stop being foolish all the time and just clean up and do the right thing. The west side can have potential. It can be outside of this ghetto-ness that people already see it as. But I did it on the west side to show love to my parents that raised me, to show honor to them, both their pictures on the building, and to pay respect to, my legacy. Growing up, born and raised 2310 Mill Street in Western Hills and Washington Park, and my fight for the west side of town. So I wanted that to be a place where people could come and get information, resources to help themselves out. So we can't do it. Maybe Kevin King can do it up the street, or Ashley Robinson up the street, or Tashina Mars, one of the other fathead cousins up the street. All of us got nonprofits that's trying to better the west side and Montgomery as a whole. So that's the reason why I did it. Everybody going to give me credit, I'm gonna give my, self credit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta pat yourself on the back. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wait till I'm dead and somebody say, "Well, let's do it to Jamel Brown Foundation." No, I wanted to do it and continue to work.
Okay, so how can people support the your foundation?
Through Cash App, $ Jamel Brown LLC, JAMEL BROWN LLC, and if you see my picture popped up that say Jermaine Brown, that's the Cash App. And we do a whole lot of stuff. Rob, it speaks for itself. Our back to school events that we did in the past before we even got the building has always been successful.
Okay, that's 100. What you got planned for 2024 and beyond?
2024 and beyond. To continue to speak truth, grow spiritually, and I have my own podcast in the making, is in my head right now, where it would be a podcast speaking truth. You know what I'm saying? Talk about stuff dealing with our culture, the Bible, spirituality, and stuff like that. I have to give myself credit. I had the best talk show during that particular period. We was messy, we was wilding out, but we made our money, we made our point, and we grew from there. So I want to do a podcast on all my social media platforms, and this year is talk about how we can eat to live and not eat to die. Talk about health, talk about real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that will be something that folks can live off of, and continue to focus on my family and myself. You know what I'm saying? My lovely family. So that's my career. That's my goals, and that's why I hope for God to take me further in.
Most definitely, man. Is there anything you want to let the people know before we wrap it up?
Not too much. I just want to thank you for inviting me on, and I just hope that Montgomery will come to a point, and it may never do. And when I say Montgomery, I'm talking about the people of Montgomery. Will come to a point, Rob, where we stop looking down on people, stop holding people past, against them. Stop being judgmental, because if walls could talk, everybody in Montgomery, you feel me, did something.
That's for sure.
You get
That's
what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? Everybody in
For sure.
Montgomery had something going on. And it behooves me and baffles me, Rob, that here I go, did a 360 during these past 3 years. Met a phenomenal black woman. Um, Phenomenal black woman that is the example of how black women, my personal truth, should model after a woman that, 3 years ago, I approached her, wanted to get her number, and didn't see no relationship insight, didn't see no friendship insight. I was still wild and out. I was, at that point, I wanted to be in the streets. You get what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
wanted to party. You know what I'm saying? At one point in my life, I was a club promoter for big boys. When they was on South Hope Street, and I wanted to fit in all that. And this woman met me at this point, and she put her foot on my neck, and I literally mean that in a respectful, good way. She put her foot on my neck and said, "Nigga, look, if you gonna be my friend, some things you just ain't gonna do or say no more, especially on social media." When I tell you, Rob, that took a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because people in my past, if you ever came past me, Rob, you either benefited me or hurted me. Can you relate? Two things.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Benefited or hurted me. Everybody in my past ain't benefited me. Everybody in my past ain't hurt me. So she changed the way I think. You get what I'm saying? She changed the way I look at things. And it takes the right woman to change a man. And I'm just gonna be
Facts.
honest. You get what I'm saying?
No,
And
facts.
yeah. So until God will destroy your life if you, and I want to post this too, God will destroy your life as a man if you mess up over a good woman. Why do I say that? Because women give birth. Every animal, every human being that is a female, a woman, they give birth, Rob. Okay? And wherever God blessed to be able to give birth, give life, you're supposed to do right by it. You feel me? You're supposed to
Right.
take care of it. So I changed my entire life for my friend, my best friend, and now my significant other. But because of people mindsets, and I know you feel where I'm coming from. I know all the spiritual folks on your platform gonna feel where I'm coming from. Because people mindsets ain't right, spirits ain't right, they'll never accept you. They still look at you as class clown. They still look at you as loud mouth. They still look at you as Jamel from the West Side. They still look at you as this person, that person. They'll never accept the new you because of what they battling on the inside. You feel me?
Right.
So that baffles me a lot because folks still hold Jamel to, you get what I'm saying? You can get off of crack, you can get out of prison, change your life around. Folks gonna say, oh, that Rob that used to do this, or that Rob that used to do that. But Rob got a platform, thousands people doing something right. They ain't never gonna recognize you in Montgomery. So
Right.
Montgomery is a city that is full of crabs in the barrel mentality folks. A lot of folks in this city that has the mindset of monkey see, monkey do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them can't think for themselves and come with their own truth. So they live these lives, and it's all about the hype. You know what I'm saying? Who got this? You can have all the popularity you want on social media, but if you ain't got no power, you're useless.
True.
You see what I'm saying? You can be the most popular person in Montgomery, but you ain't got no power, you're useless. I lost the position last year, but do I got the power? Yes. Do I got the influence? Yes. I don't need the title to make me who I am. You get what I'm saying? God has already positioned me with power, influence, truth, and his spirit to do what I do and say what I say. That's why I ate with governors and mayors and city council members all across the country, met with millionaires and everything, and they just love to pick my brain because of the truth that I carry. I don't have to be in that position. But this Jamel that you're speaking to today, from 2021 to 2024, you would not be speaking to this more mature, grown, equipped Jamel if it wasn't for that woman. I'm just being honest with you.
Shouts out to your queen, man.
Made me who I am, boss. You know what I'm saying? She made me who I am, and until men start to take care of their woman, you know, I'm just being honest. Ain't nothing good to come for you. I'm just being honest. So, we just gotta come to a place where Montgomery just it's a lot of delusional, draining people here that drain your energy, and you have to like drink plenty of water, stay in your Bible, mind your business, stay in your lane, because these folks will, you know, try to kill you mentally. And I had to stop worrying about what people say and think about me. I had to stop seeking people validation and know that God has already validated me. And that's all that matters. You know, people can bring up my past. They can say what they want now. Like, that stuff is like water off a duck back now, Rob. Like, it don't matter to me because I know who I am.
For sure, Jamel Brown. Hey, man, thank you for coming through, bro, telling your story. Hopefully people will watch this and they'll understand you better now. Because, you know, they probably seen you on World Star Hip Hop going off.
Right.
I don't know if you ever seen that video yourself?
Man, I posted the video, and when I posted the video, I was upset and reacting to what somebody said about me in 2020. You get what I'm saying? And I was being picked on. You know, I've been picked on all my life, Rob. You know, in school and everything, I've been picked on. I've been bullied, cyber bullied, all of that stuff. So, you know, I jumped out of character. And, you know, I just hope that people will, and it may never happen, like I said, people just forget about that Jamel, because that Jamel dead. But if you don't forget about it, it ain't gonna make me or break me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm better now than I have ever been character-wise in my life. But I'm glad you brought it up, because guess what I'm gonna do on your platform? I'm gonna take ownership for some of the actions I've done as myself. You get what I'm saying? As me, we have to take accountability and responsibility of the things that we did too now that made people say this, say that, whoop, 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 whoop. So, you know what I'm saying? I done cuss a whole lot of folks out. And if they watching, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's the old me. But hey, sometimes, many times we react to what was given to us. So I hope people have a different perception of me. But if they don't, it's still fine. But people need to know, Rob, folks change. People change. How many folks you know
growth.
went to school? It's exactly growth. And how many people you know that you went to school with, your family, they went in the pen probably being a drug dealer, but when they came out, they probably was preaching the word, or they was a part of Islam, or they doing something positive, doing something good. Like, hey, everybody have a backstory, man. Like, that's life. You
Right.
got to go. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I feel like people should look at what you doing though. Like, forget about the antics.
yeah,
This man right here is in the community,
yes,
actually doing something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
But they'll crucify the messenger and say F the message. And the message can be so good and juicy. But because of who delivering the message, they pick and choose who, you know what I'm saying? That's in their city. It could be going on in Atlanta, Chicago, and other cities. I don't know. But I'll tell you, in this city, I can be preaching a good message. But hey, because of who I am, they ain't gonna receive it. But let little JoJo or somebody come and say the same thing, they'll accept it. They just live. Strangers is their own people, Rob. And I know you know this on your
yeah,
own
no,
play.
for sure, 100,000%.
Yeah,
But that's why I appreciate you coming through, man. It's nice chatting with you, bro. You keep doing your thing, and remember, don't stop. Cause if you
I
stop,
appreciate
who else gonna do it?
exactly. I appreciate that.
For
And look
sure,
forward
man.
to coming back.
Say it again.
And look forward in coming back.
Facts, all facts. All right, man. Peace.
All right, take care. Thank you.